What's going on, everybody? This is Dave from This Is Punk Promotions. I'm here with Christian
Now,
from
now
Attack
I,
Records from Utrecht, Netherlands. Did I say that right?
yeah, yeah, Utrecht, Utrecht, all is good.
All right, man. Let's dive right into it. So, when did you start up Attack Records?
So it started in 1994, and I had a band at that time in Berlin, and we had recorded a demo in 1992, and we had some live recordings, and our bass player actually got some money from I don't know where, but we decided, well, let's take this money and put out a record of our band with just some of the demo stuff and some of the live stuff, and we didn't have any idea about mastering or. And we asked the people there at the company, how much can we put on an EP? And they said, well, the max is probably about 20 minutes. So that was it. We put 20 minutes on it in the bad quality, and that became the first Tech Records EP, which was by Strohzecke, and it was called Panic, Punk, and Anarchy. And we did 500 copies, and they were actually sold in more or less a year, which was quite good. And that was the start of Tech Records, mainly intended for putting out our own stuff by Strohzecke and some friends bands we know from Berlin, and then it grew a little bit, and we had some Dutch bands, and even a split with a Molotov Cocktail from the US at that time, and so it's mainly and a French band with good friends of us. So it's more or less a French label and a small, yeah, also some kind of ego label because I played in a couple of bands, and of course everything I released was on Attack Records. So find a few of the bands I'm in on the catalog for Attack Records.
That's awesome, man. So you're from Utrecht, Netherlands. How's the scene there? Do you have a favorite venue, favorite local band?
We have not many venues over here, and the venues we have. So we have some squads which are active regularly, putting up some shows, but they're pretty small. And we have a nice place which is called the DBs, where we also have our rehearsal room where we can practice, and they do some great punk shows regularly. They have a room for about 150, 180 people, and often the shows there are sold out. But it's not that many punk shows, and we have a few other places and a few people. But the scene in Utrecht itself, it's not very big. But I mean, Amsterdam is like 25 minutes away, so we go there regularly also for some shows in great places like the Oki or Frankrijk is a nice place, and Rotterdam is also not that far away. So I mean, that's a good thing in the Netherlands. Everything is pretty close, so you can travel a bit and still go to some great shows. So. And we have a few bands in Utrecht, like Mondroof is a pretty new band. The Sex Hovitzers, I'd like to mention, a hardcore style band more. Of course, we with Stachel, we play. We are a Dutch Utrecht band. We have Corto de Bocht, also good friends of mine, and I also released one an EP on Attack Records by them. So small, cozy scene, not that many things going on, but yeah, always having fun when we're together.
Very cool. So besides your label, what's your favorite label?
Uh, I think one label that certainly inspired me, but a little bit later, not with the first releases, is Good Vibrations Records from Northern Ireland. So I like the whole attitude and these A3 paper copied and folded sleeves. So a couple of the records I did later with Warheads, for example, we always had these A3 sleeves which we folded together, and which in the beginning I thought it was a good idea, but I mostly ended up folding them myself. And if you make 1,000 copies, then it takes quite some time to fold all these. So, and we always had a couple of these DIY things and stamps on the labels and that kind of thing. So I think Good Vibration really was one of the inspirations. But I like many other labels, old UK stuff from '82, Riot City, No Fun, that kind of labels still influences me, I think.
That's awesome. So if you could sign one big band, what band?
Uh, Well, so I'm not sure if I really would sign the big band, because what I like with Attack Records is really that friends and community and sharing idea of doing a punk label, and not becoming a big label selling thousands of records, and because it's a hobby, so I'm not making any money out of it, and everything that comes in goes back into the label, and I'm more happy to help some friends getting some promotion outside of their own country, and so I probably, even though a big band will come, maybe I would like to yeah, to be part of a release, or but actually I prefer to keep it a little bit smaller and a little bit more familiar. And I mean, people buying Attack Record stuff, they really buy it because also they love the label and the attitude, I guess, or at least many of them I know. They and not because these are the big names, the records you need to have, that kind of stuff. But if then I probably would love to put out an EP by The Damned, probably.
Classic.
But still, yeah, still one of my favorite bands all time, The Damned.
That's really cool, man.
Yeah,
Respect. So now I'm going to ask you some non-music questions. It's a good way for me to get to know you. I did this with
yeah,
the other labels and clothing companies and bands that I interviewed. Are you ready?
yeah, sure.
All right, first one, favorite movie.
Ooh. Um, it's probably, yeah, the one movie that comes to my mind, which I really love, but that's a German movie, and it's probably not translated to other languages, but I still, it's called Im Himmel ist die Hölle los. And it's just one of these nonsense movies, but so many classic scenes in that, and I can probably replay the whole movie when we were watching it. So, but yeah, that's probably my favorite movie, even though no one hearing this will probably ever have a chance to to see this.
Favorite book.
Favorite book. There is one book which really also influenced me, and unfortunately, I only know the German title, but it's by Ursula Le Guin, and the German title is Planet der Habenichtse. That's about that a group of the society has was able to also put people on the moon so that they can live there. And what they did was they put the anarchists on the moon. And so what she describes in this book is how the anarchists live together in this society on the moon and organize themselves. And that really impressed me, because there were many ideas I also had about anarchy and discussions we had with people, and about how it would turn out to live in an anarchist society, and what's going on there, and how to do that. So I think that's one of the books that certainly impressed me and gave me some inspiration and an idea.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Would you rather have a home in the mountains or on the beach?
I think I'm more a beach guy. I'd like to, but yeah. I would like to have a little bit in the mountains, still being able to see or go to the beach, probably. So somewhere in the middle.
If you had $1 million, what would you buy first?
Uh, I certainly would buy first the Kirby in Berlin. That's one of the oldest squads there, and they're facing eviction because of some political and especially money-wise problems. It's in the middle of the city, so it's really a high-value property, and they try to get them out since 25 years. It was also I was at the first gig at the Kirby, and it was not in the big place, but in the first floor in the kitchen, and Disorder were playing there, and it was one of the most insane shows I've ever seen until then. And because and that place is for sale probably, and many people will try to get it. So if I would have the chance to buy that, and just give the place to the people living there, and doing stuff, because they're doing great work with DIY shows and political activities, and giving place for homeless people, so that they can, that many of these activities I fully support. So that's probably what I would do with if I had a million, even though I'm not sure if a million would be enough to buy the place. But yeah.
That's awesome. You could be any animal. What animal would you be?
Or see how nice it is for cats. So they get attention whenever they decide to get attention, and they get great food and they sleep all day. And the only thing I would miss then was making music, because I think that's probably hard to do with when being a cat. But yeah,
Like humans.
yeah.
Last question. What are some places in Utrecht that visitors should check out?
Um, I think if you're interested in architecture, then you definitely should go to the old gracht in the center, so that you know that's water flowing around, and there are nice places to stay. If you're interested in culture, then definitely go and check DB Studios. Because they have great beers. There's always bands hanging around because they are also rehearsing there, good shows, and very great people who work there. So definitely, and they have a vegetarian kitchen in there with great food. Roots Rock Kitchen, it's called. So you can have your food, you can have a beer, talk to musicians, watch bands. Great place.
That's awesome. You'll have to take me to those places when I get over there.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. If you come, just give me a sign, and we we have a nice evening in DB's when it's open again, of course.
For sure.
Now it's still closed.
Well, I really appreciate you coming on, chatting up a little bit, man. I really appreciate you supporting me in This Is Punk Promotions.
Yeah, thank you for promoting all the bands and labels and stuff. It's really highly appreciated, I think, by everyone. And it's I mean, it's fantastic that you do this work and share, you know, all these things about all these small people groups and places and stuff. So thank you actually for doing this and giving me the chance to talk a little bit about Attack Records and all that other stuff.
Anytime, man. Have a great night. We'll talk soon.
Yeah. Okay. Good night.